What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Big T's Reviews and Reactions. And today, you know how we do it, we are going to be doing a review of American Horror Story Red Tide. This episode is episode 4, and it's entitled Blood Buffet. The synopsis of this episode says, the dark history of Provincetown and its residents is brought to light. I don't know about the rest of you, but this is the episode that I've been really waiting for. This season of American Horror Story has been really great so far, with all the action, the drama, as usual, the horror, the death. It's just been amazing. But I always like to get a glimpse in the past to let me know how things have come to pass. And in this episode, that's exactly what we got. It opens up with the chemist. You know, she's played by Angelica Ross, and she's first coming into town. This takes place in October 5 years ago, and she's driving into town. She comes up to the house. You know, real estate agents are nosy in general, and he asks her, yeah, you want quiet, but it's BS. I want to know what you're doing here, yada yada yada, and are you cooking meth? And she informs him, no, I have a PhD from Harvard. That's under my pay grade. I just like the quiet. So he informs her, okay, fine. She lets him know, I'll take it. So we go a little further in, and we see her with her chemistry set and everything out, or her equipment. And as this is going on, she's making something. And then we kind of knew what she was making because we knew who made the pills. And the shot right before the theme plays is her taking a pill and showing it. That's what she's making. She's new in town. She goes to the bar, well, the only restaurant in town, and she sees Macaulay Culkin flirting, trying to get the real estate agent in bed. He's already on drugs. She informs him, do you do women too? I have some money. Let's go home. I found this odd because she's kind of well kept, doesn't seem to be the type to get involved in this type of thing. And I was right. She brought him there to get the 411 on the town, ask him if he has any talent because she's looking for someone to take the pill. We know on a past episode that was a past episode that happened in the future, we know he is going to take the pill. But as of right now, he's like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not taking this pill. She also lets him know about all the side effects. They tried it on chimpanzees, just all this stuff. And wisely, he's like, no, I'm not going to take it. But as a drug addict, she also told him, anybody you bring to me to take this pill, I'll give you $50. So we really find out that Mickey, he plays a major role in getting people to come and take the pill. And we also find out, on a past episode, we noticed that Mickey is allowing Karen, tuberculosis Karen, played by Sarah Paulson, to stay with him in his little dive or whatever, the place that Belle Nora says, your poverty offends me. But anyway, we realize that they are friends. Maybe they just hang together because they're both on drugs, but they are friends. They're just talking and everything. And then Macaulay Culkin notices a guy on stage. He sends her to the chemist. And this is the first person that gets the pill in town. Then the next scene we see Sarah, aka Belle Noire. She is sitting in a library introducing her new book. There's about 3 fans present. She's not very popular right now. And I mean, what I really love about American Horror Story is the way that they grasp and get your attention, because they kind of show you who people were, and they also show you who they become. And this is one of the scenes where we see before our eyes such a transformation that takes hold of Belle after she's reading her book, to the little bit of people that came to see her. We see the chemist come in, telling her, you're talented, I like your book, yada yada yada. She gets Sarah to sign the book for her, but we're in on it. We all know what she's up to. So we go outside and we see Basically what we see is that Sarah's husband is an a-hole. Like he's a horrible person. He's complaining because he put part of his retirement up to follow his wife's dreams, yada yada yada. He wants to go here, she wants to go there. They have nothing in common. He's really talking down to her. He's just an a-hole. We see that. Long story short, Sarah goes to the restaurant. She meets Mickey. You know, they start talking, yada, 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 because let's face it, Mickey's a drug dealer. He's trying to make money. $50 a pop for everybody I bring to the chemist's house to take a pill, you know. But Mickey seems to have a connection with Sarah. And, you know, at first Sarah's like, are you trying to pick me up because you got the wrong woman? I'm married. Then they start talking, you know, and it leads to Sarah asking, do you have any cocaine? I've never done it before. He says, no, but I have something better. She ends up drinking, dancing on the dance floor, and then he takes her to the chemist's house. The chemist informs her there may be some side effects. I get to study your reaction, tells me what happens. You get the pill, you get to unlock your true potential, but you have to be talented. The chemist did read her book and let her know, yes, you are talented. This will unlock even more of that. Sarah takes the pill. Sarah goes home. She writes a book overnight. Her husband comes home. You know, she's happy. She can't believe that she had all of this inside of her to make this book, you know, in such a short amount of time. But she did, and she's amazed and she's happy. And her a-hole husband informs her, no, you didn't write this, it's good. This is when the side effect of the pill takes shape. It's a little bit of rage. You know, she asks, where the heck have you been all night? I went out, I screwed a woman, I'm coming home, I'm going to take a shower, and I'm going back to screw her again because this marriage is over. She busts a bottle, she slits his throat, and she starts drinking from him. After that, she goes back to the chemist's house, and she informs the chemist of what happened. She asks the chemist, did you know this was going to happen? Yada, yada, yada. And she says, I thought it might, but it happened with chimps. I wasn't sure if it would happen with humans, but now we know. And you know, she explains to her, the reason you are thirsting for this blood like this is because of the magnesium and sodium that this pill dries up out of your system, and this is all things are in blood. We kind of heard them explain this before, but this is coming straight from the maker's mouth. So, you know, this is more to stand on. Back to the first guy who took the pill. You know, he wanted to be like Bono. He's a pacifist. You know, he took the pill. His hair is falling out. He's becoming pale. And you look at him and you realize, if you're like me, oh my God, this is one of those dudes that walk around town just trying to attack people and kill people. This is what happens to the ones who are not truly talented. You know, he's complaining, I need more pills, I'm cold. She told him, you know, it's October, get a real coat. This is when he goes, and this is where we meet Lark, or, you know, the doctor, you know, that does the teeth. She's working almost like a Salvation Army, and we see him pick up the coat, you know, that lets us know, okay, so this is who he becomes. He's the first of like 4 or 5 of these things, these pale, tall, gangly things that are walking around killing people. He goes, after he has the coat on, he goes to the cemetery. He sees a woman praying. He walks up to her because of his bloodlust and his thirst, and she informs him, you don't look well, pray with me. And while she's praying, he breaks something, he cuts her, and he sucks her blood. Then he goes back to the chemist, and he's upset. He can't believe what he did, and he wants an explanation, like, I don't behave like this. Why is this happening to me? And kind of in a cold way, she informs him, you don't have any talent. And now that it's showing, you're upset with everybody. You hate everybody. You hate the world because you're not talented. And he tries to attack her. She points a gun at him, informs him, once everyone knows what these pills do, they're going to be willing to take the chance. You're going to have people to come and join you because everybody isn't talented. Get out of my house, never come back. And he just goes, next thing you know, he sees a drunk guy in the alley and he kills him. That's kind of the end of his story. And we kind of see what happens and the side effects. Then the bad part, I mean, not like drinking blood wasn't bad enough, but this is the really, really bad part that happens if you are not actually talented. If you don't have a creative bone in your body and you're not talented, this is what happens to you if you take the pill. I mean, it's up to you if it's worth it or not. And then we go back on the next scene, we see Sarah going back to the little boutique. I shouldn't have said Salvation Army earlier. I shouldn't have said Salvation Army earlier. She goes to the boutique where Lark works, and you know, she says, yeah, I thought after a woman reaches 50 that they should just pick a wardrobe and stick with it. But you know, she kind of laughs. Yeah, I put my husband on the beaching pieces and I'm trying to change my look. And then Lark informs her, yeah, my boyfriend was good in bed, but I killed him, yada yada yada. And then she asks, when did you take the pill? And she said, recently. It helps me do tattoos. And then Lark also informs her that it helped me with these too. You know, not only I do tattoos, I do these. And Belle is like, that's really convenient. I would really like a pair. And we see all of these stories and we see what's happening. They're showing us everything, how it unfolded in the future. Belle goes to the bar and there are all these men in drag around, and they're all kind of throwing a lot of shade and really teasing Austin. He gets on stage, he performs, it's really not good, and they're laughing. And you know, he's depressed at the end of it. He's on stage sitting down playing the piano, licking his wounds, and then that's when Belle walks up to him and they have a conversation. You know, he informs her, yeah, that he wants to write. You know, he does this drag because it helps pay the bills. It gives him a little bit of money and buys him some smokes. And he talks about how he's a writer, and one of the guys that he gave his work to and was putting, you know, things together was this big guy who kind of looks red and chubby all the time. And then Belle flashes back and realizes, oh man, I killed the man who was supposed to help him. And maybe it was a form of guilt, who knows. But she decides to help him out. He informs her, I'm just always almost there's like a car that I just can't get cranked up. I can't get started. And she says, well, I have something for you. And she shows him the pill, and he says, what is this? And she say, it's to get you started. He takes the pill. He starts going into convulsions. He starts foaming at the mouth. But then, you know, the thing happens and he's inspired, and they go off and he feels it, you know. And she tells him, let's go and feed you and get some revenge at the same time. This is when they go and they kill the drag queens. They shoot a couple of them, and the biggest drag queen, I guess the leader or whatever you want to call it, she manages to get away. She sits down in the graveyard, which is where the original failure of the pill took the pill. I knew what was going to happen, and long after that, not long after that, I should say, she gets bit in the neck and it goes off. This answered a lot of questions. That's what I really love about Ryan Murphy in American Horror Story. He helps us with any questions. He doesn't really leave anything unsolved where we really don't know. This was another great episode. I can't wait to next week's episode. But guys, I will also be doing a review on American Crime Story Impeachment, which looks like it will be pretty juicy. And I will be starting making more reviews and more reactions, guys. Just stay tight with me, like, subscribe, and this is Big T's reviews and reactions, and I will see you guys later.